hello, this is a lull. Personally, I thought this silhouette was a bit difficult. The reason is that it wasn't just capturing a normal motion, but also making the afterimage part of the silhouette. Even so, seeing everyone write the correct answer, I can tell that 98 is definitely a popular game. The correct answer was Saishu using the special move Tomoe. The reason I chose 98 instead of starting with the 9 series, which had pretty good performance, it's still the most played version in Korea, but among the players who play 98, very few choose Saishu, so that's why I picked it. Let's learn about Saishu, an arsonist and Q's father. Let's begin with his son Q and the event. This is a totally useless long-range A. The hitbox is bad, and the startup frames are even slower than they appear. Despite these specs, most characters can at least cancel, but this move can't be cancelled and isn't even good for stopping short hops. It's a trash normal. It's better than far A, but close A's practicality is still questionable. I mentioned practicality because its close range recognition range is very short. Rapid hits allow up to 3 strikes, but there's little reason to use it, and it only works at point blank range. You can also chain skills, but since only a limited number of skills can be chained, it's quite inconvenient to use. The advantage of Melee A is that its startup frames are the same as Q's Melee C, which is known for being a fast basic melee move. However, using this alone reduces its damage and combo potential. Melee A has the advantage of being able to forcibly link into Melee C. It's easier than the forced links of other characters. Using this can make you a slightly stronger Saishu. Anja A is a basic move you can use as your main technique. For a light basic move, its reach is long and the hitbox is decent. Q's Anja A is good, but Saishu's attack range is longer. You can cancel into an attack, letting you vary the timing as you like. Another strength of Saishu's Anja A is that its activation speed is fast, on par with Q's C. Since you can force a C-link like with close range A, it's an essential move you can't avoid. This is a jump A with pretty excellent hit detection in air-to-air situations. It has the same startup frames as far A, and among jump normals that are lower in height than a hop, it's a pretty excellent basic move. If Saishu jumps first and the opponent jumps to attack, you'll usually win. This is Saishu's only long-range poking normal B. The reach is a bit short, but the hitbox is fairly decent. There's a similar normal, Q's far B, but this one is 1 frame faster than Q's. Even though the reach is a bit shorter, it can still beat Q's far B. But trying to beat even Byeonwimaru's excellent light kick is just wishful thinking. Byeonwimaru's far B is 3 frames faster than Saishu's. Here, it's a weak B with no power or basics. The attack hitbox is attached only to the lower part, but even though the hitbox is only at the bottom, the actual hit detection doesn't even cover the lower area, so it's garbage. The startup frames are about the same as the far A, which is pretty slow for a close range basic move, and the moves you can combo into from it are very limited, so there's really no reason to use close B at all. Unlike how it looks ordinary, crouching B is actually a very strong move. The hitbox itself is pretty average, but actually its startup frames are as fast as Q or E's close C. The fast startup of this low attack lets you get a really good position for low pokes. It's so effective that even close C can follow up, not just light normals. It's easier to land a forced link with this character than with any other. In other words, even with just a simple low poke combo, you can deal big damage. Jump B is best for Saishu's rush attacks. Its hitbox is decent, and it's Saishu's only basic jump move usable for cross-up guard. Although the attack hitbox seems narrow, it doesn't cause major problems when making a cross-up guard. Additionally, Saishu's fast ground normals and high jump attacks help prevent combo drops, making his jump B rush quite effective. If not for its startup speed, far C could be a decent normal. The hitbox appears well, countering most average characters' long-range pokes. But in actual matches, it's too slow to use, so if you try to poke with this, you'll just end up getting punished. Since it's a normal move that can be cancelled into a special, try to cancel it when far C appears. Most think Kyo or Iori have the fastest close C in 98, but actually Saishu's close C is the fastest normal in the game. It's a very strong normal that's 1 frame faster than Kyo or Iori's close C, which are among the fastest, and you can cancel it to connect all your moves into combos. Thanks to the rapid startup, Saishu's forced links are much easier. It's truly the best normal, but honestly it does have one flaw. The issue is that when you're right up close behind the opponent, this hit doesn't connect. Of course, this can be resolved by forcing a link after a light normal. Fortunately, this kind of issue doesn't occur with bigger characters. It's a strong jumping C to pressure a standing opponent. However, its hitbox doesn't cover the lower area, so if your opponent knows this, Saishu can be punished. It's a basic D move that's kinda useless. Both far and close versions share specs, motion, and can't be cancelled. The startup frames are pretty slow, but it's actually quite good for predicting and countering aerial attacks. Using it too late or with your opponent means you'll trade hits or lose. Thanks to this, Anja D has the slowest startup frames except for CD. It's a pretty slow normal attack, but it's not bad since it's often used as an economical option. The reach is just a bit longer than Anja B. It's a bit short for Anya's reach, but a bonkin can help. It's a pretty good jump D for air-to-air use. The attack hitbox is a bit unique, extending more upward than downward. If your jump height is lower than your opponent's, you have a better chance in air-to-air situations. However, it's vulnerable to low attacks, so overuse leads to heavy punishment. This jump CD works well for both air-to-air and air-to-ground. Its motion closely resembles Shingo's CD. A jump CD makes it easy to follow up with more hits after a counter. If you're quick enough, you can even land a special move when you get a counter. Saishi's darkness is targeting you. Projectile speed varies with its strength. As I said before, attack cancel can disrupt timing when using it as a zoning tool. Saishi's projectile seems normal, but its recovery is flawed. If you use projectile counters simultaneously, Iori recovers from stun first. However, its recovery is still faster than Rugal's. In a normal field, if the opponent blocks everything, you'll get pushed back, so it's impossible to catch them with a delayed attack. But if you throw a projectile like this in the corner, you'll definitely get punished by fast and long-reaching basic attacks. Using a projectile combo after cornering your opponent will get you punished instead of being safe. Saishi often uses his special move, Ose Guangzhou. It's mainly for close combat follow-ups, but elites can cancel into it from anywhere. When extending a combo, the mid-attack effect vanishes, but used alone, it retains its mid-attack property. However, it also has the drawback of being impossible to cancel. Using Elite at close range lands most skills, but after Guangchu's second hit, normal skills won't combo. The second hit Guangchu can only be connected to ultimate skills that consume Gi, and for Domo, it only connects when you use just one Gi. With Max Domo, Guangchu's second close range hit can't connect. To use Max Domo after Guangchu, cancel after the first close range hit. Wasachi's strong forward movement lets both close-range hits connect as a combo. It's a great Osik Buchu for field pressure. Because it has very strong forward movement, you can use it when the distance increases in close combat to close the gap again. Although it's a great special move, you can't combo into Dolchu from basic attacks. That's unexpected. Some people sometimes think Buchu is an overhead, but even though the stance jumps a bit and the motion looks like it's coming down, Buchu is not considered an overhead. If Buchu hits under pressure, you can follow up with crouching A or far C. Using far C as a follow-up gives you a chance for massive damage. You can use the same combo after detonating B. A single special move can shred your opponent's health. This is the anti-air move Guisen Taiwugi. It's an anti-air move that's a bit less effective than the standard Guisen Taiwugi. The standard version has a reliable guard point, but in Saisu's case, the invincibility only lasts for a short time. So you have to wait until the opponent is completely within range before using it. If you miss the timing, you lose invincibility and get blocked. 98, Saishu's signature move Flame Pillar deals heavy damage if it connects, but leaves him vulnerable if blocked. Always use the strong Flame Pillar, the weak version can't be followed up with another hit. Anja-san is the best way to end a Flame Pillar combo. Landing the gem lets you add Guizhen Tai Wu Gi. After Flame Pillar, bursting the ear sets a limit where you can't follow up with a light skill combo. If you burst the ear and can't use Desachi in the next video, just use the Yoctodale Flame Pillar combo instead. You can just hit with the back attack, and you can also hit with the jumping strong attack in the air, and the damage is brutal. This is the technique, Shin-hyun, that made the central processing unit Saisyu a demon in 95. Apdaishi and Shin-hyun have similar activation motions, so I often blocked while crouching. It's a useless move that you can never use in a combo. You can't use extra gauge just to dash, which moves like Shin-hyun. There's really no point to it except for using it as a complete surprise attack. Shin-han of 98, Saishu has an overhead property on the first hit, but only if it connects, otherwise it doesn't appear. If it's blocked, you get a big penalty. For reference, with Shin-hyun, whether you use the strong or weak version, your entire hurt box disappears until just before you jump. The weak version has a short startup, so the invincibility is brief, while the strong version gives you slightly longer invincibility. This is the fourth move, which is often used in combos. This works against low attacks, but only with the weak fourth move. The strong fourth move doesn't combo on lows. To use the strong attack, just perform the close range C2 move. This move's force knockdown gives Saishu an advantage. For Desaki and Domo, I already showed and explained the combos along the way, so there's nothing more to show separately, so I left them out. Domo briefly has full body invincibility right before activation. That's all, this has been Doll. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and comment.